Hello, and welcome to Chem 115 Lab. I wanted to give you a brief introduction to the course and a tour of our Canvas site. I'm Dr. Kim Neighbor, and I look forward to working with you this semester. So the Canvas site is laid out so that you can follow it chronologically through the different modules. There are a few other places that can be helpful for you. So the right side, there's a to-do list of upcoming assignments. You can also, if you want to see the list of assignments, you can go to Syllabus, and this lays out the assignments throughout the course of the semester. Okay. We're going to start. There's an instructor welcome and tell you a little bit about the Chem 115 lab, the Canvas tour, and then the syllabus. So we'll talk a little bit about the syllabus. So you're going to have some learning outcomes that we would like you to be able to do once you've completed this course. Okay. There are some materials that you're going to need. So there is no textbook or lab manual that you need for the course. Everything will be provided to you in Canvas. You are going to have to get a small chemistry kit, so you want to contact the Department of Chemistry in order to obtain that kit. It's going to include things like a small digital scale, graduated cylinder, a thermometer, and some other equipment that you can use throughout the course of the semester to carry out the labs at your place of residence. You will need a few household chemicals in order to carry out the labs. So at the beginning of each of the labs, there's going to be a list of materials and also equipment so that you can be prepared with the stuff that you need in order to carry out the labs. So these are going to include things like a few leaves of red cabbage that you will not need until later, the very end of the semester. Salt, distilled or bottled water, vinegar, baking soda. And these are things that you might already have around your house, and you're welcome to use them, or you can purchase them from a local grocery store, and you're welcome to purchase the smallest container that you can find. Most of the time we only need a small amount of those substances. Okay. You are going to need access to Canvas. We will be using Webex Teams. There's lots of ways to access Webex Teams. I'll show you how to get to that in just a little bit. There's additional information if you haven't used, just Webex. If you haven't used Webex before, there's some additional information that you can find. Okay. If you can print and scan, that's going to be beneficial. You do need to be able to submit pictures and videos, and many of the labs are going to be provided to you using an Excel document to fill out. And so you do want to make sure that you have access to Excel, and there's free ways that you can get access to Excel as a UWW student. Okay, make sure that you are providing yourself enough time in order to carry out these labs. It is an important part of the course. It's a laboratory course, and so because it's a laboratory course, the laboratory is a critical part to passing the course. And I know that it doesn't make sense, and the math doesn't quite work out, but the lab is worth 25% of your grade. But if you do not pass the lab with a C or better, 70% or better, you cannot pass the entire course. So make sure that you're dedicating some time to completing the laboratory portion and the assignments that you need to do for the lab. I do have a course calendar or a course syllabus for you so that you can look and see which labs we're doing when. And I do want to point out that our due dates are 5 p.m. Because that way I may be available if you're working on it last minute. I may be available to answer questions for you. Okay, so Please don't leave it to the last minute in case you do have questions that need to be addressed. So at the bottom of each one of the pages, there is a next button that you can push, or previous button, to navigate from one page to the next. If that does not work for you, you can always click back on home. I do outline of the assignment types, so there are different types of assignments, so you are going to have to complete a safety agreement saying that you understand the safety rules that are required in order to do these labs in your residence, and so you do need to submit that. I'm going to have you introduce yourself, so we're going to use Webex, and one way you can get to it is by clicking on Cisco Webex. You can also download the app. We're going to keep a laboratory notebook. So laboratory notebook is a legal document that your place of business or future employer may require you to do. And so this is a way to track everything that you've done in the lab or in your job, to make sure that it has been documented. And so we want you to get practice documenting it. And there are some resources showing you exactly how to lay out that laboratory notebook. You're also going to be turning in laboratory reports. So the laboratory reports could be Excel, they could be PowerPoint slides. Each lab will give you additional information on how to submit the work that you have done for the lab. So we've talked a little bit, and here is a place that tells you how to keep a laboratory notebook. We've talked a little bit about our Webex Introductions, and so the Webex Introductions, you can click on Cisco Webex or download the Webex app. Okay? And this gives you a way in order to communicate with me, other students in the course. You do have to sign in. But every student at UW-Whitewater does have a login, and you log in with your UWW credentials. This also gives you a place if you want to schedule office hours with me. You can schedule office hours, and if these times do not work for you that are provided, please feel free to reach out and we can schedule another time that will work. Okay. If you want to see grades, your grades are available in Canvas. There's also, you can access Office 365 in case you want to use Excel online. It is a limited version of Excel. You can still use it, but it may not have exactly the same features as the full Excel, and you can get the full Excel for free. Okay. All right, so let's just take a quick look at some of the labs that what the labs look like. So we'll look at the Lab 1 assignment. And so it's going to provide you a purpose. There's some tasks, and you can download or look at the PDF file of the lab that lays out exactly what you need to do for the course or for that lab. Okay. It gives you a procedure that you need to follow so that you don't miss any of the steps that should be carried out for the lab. And then gives you information about how to proceed and complete the lab successfully. I do provide any links that you may need, such as the policies and procedures that we have, any videos that you need to watch, and then information about how to submit your report forms. So for the first lab, there are 3 different components. One is the safety agreement that you need to fill out, and it needs to be done before you attempt any of the hands-on labs in the course. There is an Excel sheet, an introduction to Excel that you need to fill out for Lab 1. And so you're going to download that, fill it in, and save it. And then you will submit that to the Lab 1 report form assignment. And then the third part of this lab is taking the Lab 1 quiz that talks about safety and glassware. And so every lab that you do will have some of these components. And it will give you information about how to submit that. Some labs, you're going to be using the equipment provided. Some labs are more of a dry lab. So this first, that Lab 1, you are not going to be using any of your laboratory equipment. It is more getting you oriented into the course and making sure that you have an understanding of safety. I am always here for you. I know it's an online course and you're working on it when it fits into your schedule, but please don't hesitate to reach out to me through Webex or through email for any questions that you may have. I'm happy to answer any questions, and I do try to get back to you in a short period of time. So please let me know if there's anything I can do to help you out, or if there's any way, any additional resources that I can provide you to help you be more successful. I look forward to working with you and getting to know you more this semester. Thank you.